Welcome, everybody, to All About Articulation, where we do a deeper dive into the articulation of some of your favorite action figures while glossing over things like sculpt, paint apps, character history, accessories, because I suck at that. And there are already so many great reviewers on YouTube who do that already, so I don't want to waste your time. Today, we're reviewing the BMS 1/12 collectible action figure that's based off of the Kingdom Come Superman. Technically, he's not a licensed figure, so they cannot call him Superman. They call him something else. Actually, the box, if you look here, doesn't have any markings at all. So usually they come up with some goofy name because they don't want to get in trouble with licensing. But it is, you do see BMS there, and that comes into that factors in a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a second. I do want to talk a little bit about the figure first, but if you want to just jump straight into the articulation and just skip my spiel, no problem. Just click the timestamp and you'll see it right there. So, 2022, I sort of got into, I went down the rabbit hole of third-party, soft goods, Mesco style-esque 112 figures. These figures are obviously, they violate licensing and copyright infringement and all that stuff. So generally speaking, you have these third-party retailers and manufacturers making these figures, licensed figures, but of course not paying the license. So you have guys, this Heisenberg, Walter White, Breaking Bad. He's called Drug Man, and you have Trinity and Neo in the back here, and they're called Imperial Hackers. Don't know why or how they came up with that name. But from my experience getting these third-party soft goods figures, the quality can sometimes run through the gamut. You don't really know what you're getting, and a lot of these sellers are from overseas. They're from China, Japan, and maybe Hong Kong. So there is a bit of a wait to get the figures and have them shipped over to the US. And another thing is, you don't really know what the quality of the figure is going to be like. I mean, all these figures that I bought, from the Red Ninja to Kingdom Come Superman to what I call my Breaking Bad, Neo, Trinity, they were all gambles. I had no idea if they were going to be good or not. I just kind of took the risk. I did a little bit of research. But from my experience, these are just ones I kept. I bought other ones that I sold and I didn't like. For example, there was a Deathstroke third-party figure that came out in the middle of 2022. Did not like that, returned it. I sold that. And I got a couple of others that are of mixed quality. Oh yeah, I had the Matrix 1 Neo that I bought used on eBay for $100. I didn't like that, so I ended up reselling it. These two are okay. I'm gonna keep them, but I'm not too thrilled by them. This Red Ninja I do like a lot, but it does have its issues, and I'm not 100% thrilled about. This Breaking Bad Walter White figure I do love. Some little nitpicky things like that. The head is very, very loose and it tends to pop off. But other than that, the articulation, look at that head. Look at that. The likeness is insane. I mean, it's oops. Don't lose your head, Walter White. The likeness to Bryan Cranston is unbelievable. Let me get a light down there for you. So, for these third-party figures, they do sort of run the spectrum in terms of quality. I am very, very happy to report to you guys that this Kingdom Come, this Alex Ross-looking Superman is bananas. It's bananas. I'm going to make a statement that's might come across as controversial right now, being that we're still in only January of 2023. But I'm going to call it now. This bad boy right here he is going to be one of my top 10 figures of the year of 2023 already. I'm calling it now in January that he's going to make it to the end. Because I'll tell you right now, if he came out in December, he would have made my best of 2022. Maybe not top 10, but at least in honorable mention. He would have made like the top 20 or top 25. He's that good. The likeness of a Kingdom Come Superman, I mean, look at that head sculpt. That's just phenomenal. You know? The soft goods, it's perfect. There's nothing loose, nothing kind of sticking out, nothing bad about it, nothing ill-fitting. It's perfect. The material is very, very soft and spandexy, really. And it doesn't hinder articulation in any way, shape, or form. And I'll get the articulation in a second. The cape is just top-notch. It's a very soft, silky, satiny, like polyester, basically, feeling fabric. No wiring, no bendy wire, but you can go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any craft store and just make it yourself. You'll be cost you $5. Give you 10 minutes to do. I, for one, don't even like wired capes that much. I know I prefer non-wired capes. Nothing's worse than the plastic capes, but if I had to pick between wired and unwired, I'll take unwired. Because I pose my figures on a shelf. Sometimes I don't realize that I have the bendy wire cape in a certain position, and I knock them right over. And next thing you know, it's a domino effect. So if I had to pick, I would opt for no wire capes in all my figures, but still better than plastic. So I'm very happy with this figure. Very, very happy. One thing that I wanted to pass on to the rest of you guys, if you are interested in sort of venturing out to some of these third-party figures, and they cost maybe like, this was like only about $80. This guy, he was about 80, 90. He was about, I think 90 to 100. These two are about 90 to 100. So they're within the same price range as Mezco's. The only question is, are they as good? Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. The ones that I do notice they are, it depends on who's making them. So the Kingdom Come Superman, he's made by, like I said before, BMS. And BMS, they have made other third-party, unlicensed figures, and they've all been very, very well received, very, very well reviewed. So just me personally, maybe your mileage will vary, but for me, whenever I do see a third-party knockoff figure that's made by BMS, more often than not, I will trust it, and I will have the confidence to know that that figure would probably be good. They do a lot of work with VToys, so that's always a good sign, because VToys makes great, custom bodies. For example, there's VToys, the Zero body is one of my favorites. This is the Red Ninja. Here's the box, the Red Ninja box, and it's made by, as you can see up here, VToys, and 6" Plus. I have never heard of them, but I trust VToys, so I'm like, all right, VToys, I heard of them, I like their products, I like their Zero body, I got this guy. And articulation is phenomenal. The amount of accessories and weapons he comes with is fantastic. Removable hood, removable head, just a fantastic figure, no complaints. What do we got here now? We got Breaking Bad, Walter White. Here's the box that came with him. Oops, we'll put it to the side there. Hold on, stand up a little bit. This, I could swore it was, he comes with a bunch of cool accessories. So I could have swore this was a PC Toys, but I'll have to double check on that. And the two Matrix characters I have, these are by PC Toys. And here's the box for them. As you can see right there, PC Toys. PC Toys. I'm sort of mixed on PC Toys. I like them and I don't like them at the same time. I should do a full review on these two to give you guys a full idea of why I don't like them so much, but they're not bad. Like if I saw PC Toys about to release more figures, I may opt to buy them. I trust their quality. So that just gives you an idea of some of what to look for. And if you want me to review any of these figures, or if you have a figure that you don't see here you want me to review, just leave it in the comments below and I'll do it. I don't care. I'm not doing this for, you know, what do you call it, views or clicks or anything like that. I'm just a collector and I figure I could help out a fellow brother or sister or whatever you want to identify as. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, okay, let's get to the articulation. So BMS, like I said, they have teamed up a few times in the recent past with VToys, and their Zero Body is just one of my favorites. That and the Nata Toys, Nata Man. Here, I'll get a few. This bad boy here. This is another body mold that I love by Nata Toys. Nata Man. This is their. I haven't even opened it yet, actually. Oh no, I did. Yeah, I'll take it out and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this guy. So basically, Nota Toys makes this customizable male figure body for soft goods, so you can customize. But if they were to come out with their third-party figure, like let's say they want to create a Thor character, not a man's, Viking god. That's probably what they would name him, because they can't use the word Thor, obviously. Even though I can't tell what body it is and how the joints are because it would have soft goods, I know that Nota Toys makes a phenomenal customizable body. So I have faith and confidence that that Viking god character figure that they would release would be awesome. And that was exactly my thought process getting this bad boy. BMS does work with VToys. VToys, I love their stuff. So I had some confidence and they did not disappoint. So, okay. Enough chit-chat, enough yammering. Let's get to the articulation. The head, there's just 1 point of articulation in the top of the neck. Nothing on the base of the neck. Goes up that far up. That far down. Goes all the way around. You know, we know what that looks like. Has a great range of motion. Great range of motion. All right? Okay. There's a slight butterfly joint. I'll show you. You can get a good view of that. Let me braid that cape. So if you can see it up here. All right, let me get some more light. I'm going to show you exactly how much movement. All right, let me show you maybe a little closer. You see that? That's it. That's the only butterfly motion you get. You see that? So it's very, very minimal. But it doesn't matter, because he's got great range of motion on his shoulders. There's his T-pose. That's as far as he goes. Actually, maybe he can get a little bit more than T. He can almost hit a Y. Okay. Yep, the arm will go all the way around, but of course he's got a fabric there, so it's not going to go. But he can get up very high. He's got a bicep swivel that'll go all the way around. You can tell that he has great musculature. And another thing about, I know we gloss over accessories and whatever, but one other thing that I love about this this material for his costume is that it's very, very soft and pliable, but it's skin tight too. So it hugs his body. Like you can see all his musculature and his profile. Look at his shadow, his outline. It's perfect. Okay. Double jointed elbows. I mean, that's a great double joint. Look at that. Oh, it's just such a good figure. Okay, double joint elbows. He's got, you know, the multi-directional wrist peg that we all know and love. He can go flexion, abduction, flexion, extension. as well as adduction, abduction. You know how it is. Anyway, okay, let's get to the abs. 2 points of articulation in the abs, one upper, one lower. The lower joint can go all the way around, but of course it's going to be hindered by the fabric. To show you what the upper ab articulation is in isolation, it goes down. This is neutral, goes down this much, and that's the upper only. And now here's the lower crunch in isolation, the lower only. Okay? And upper and lower together goes down that far. Phenomenal, just phenomenal. And goes backwards that much, back extension. So for a Superman flight pose, that'd be great. Okay? All right, let's get to the heels. No drop down hip, but he can hit, he can do a split, basically. Let me back him up here. He can do a split. Not much ankle articulation, so he can't do the Glen Webb, unfortunately. But he can do a regular split. He can kick up this far. He can kick that far back. Okay, he's got a no thigh swivel, but it's got a swivel motion, so you can look at his feet, and I'll illustrate to you just how much rotation you're getting. All right. So there is a swivel motion. You can swivel the hips. There's just no dedicated swivel. There's no. Oh, there is a boot cut. I'm sorry. There's a boot cut here. Boot cut there. So with the little movement of hip swivel and the boot swivel, you can get a lot of motion. He's got a double jointed knee that could go back that far. Not quite kick his own butt, but you get it. Now he's got a double jointed peg in his ankles, so it's going to be, I don't know if you can see it there. See that? It's a ball peg there, ball peg there, and you don't get too much range of motion, but it's more than Mezco. And look, you can get him to point his toes up that far, which is great. So you can do hip poses like that. And he can still have some sort of ankle pivot. See that? There you go. Just gotta work with the ball pegs, that's all. If you can work with the ball peg, you can get a decent amount of motion. Now for Superman, he's gotta have to point his toes, right, in the flight pose. So that's probably the most important. So he can get that far up as he's floating or flying. Okay. So we got that out the way. One thing I wanted to, I should do a measurement too. To give you an idea, he scales so well too. He's not small. A lot of times these third-party companies, they make figures that are so small. They're tiny. And this guy just does not disappoint. He made him nice, and BMS made him nice and big. He stands at just at about, a little bit more than 6.5, but a little less than 6 3/4. So what's that? 6 inches and a little bit more than 6.5 inches. In terms of centimeters, maybe be more precise, the top of his head almost hits 17 centimeters. Just shy of 17. Just shy of 17 centimeters. So, one comp that I loved, I was dying to have him stand next to and pose next to, is my Christopher Reeve Mezco Superman. And there you go. Look at these two guys standing next to each other. They look so good, and he scales so perfectly with Mezco and Christopher Reeve. I mean, it's uncanny. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is 125, or was it 150? I forgot how much he was, just retail. And this is maybe 100. I'm gonna say this feels like more of a quality figure than this. I mean, you get more stuff. You get tons of more stuff. So I understand the price differential. But if I'm just looking at these two right here, and you asked me, and I didn't know anything about anything, and you just said to me, which one's a better figure? Which one do you think costs more? I would say, without a doubt, I think this one would. I'm just me. One thing, going back to I wanted to talk a little bit more about the fabric of the costume. One thing I do love is the way it hugs the body. It hugs the body, but it's not so tight and restrictive that it restricts movement. It's so soft and malleable and easy to work with. Yet it's so form-fitting. You know, like you could see how it bunches up, right? To give a little bit of sense of realism. But at the same time, look at how it curves. It hugs the curvature of his muscles. It's just like, and it creates like these shadows. I'm looking at it on through the viewfinder of my camera. It just looks so good. Oh yeah. So the thing I wanted to talk about was specifically with the wrist. What I love what they've done is that they've tapered. If you see that, how the sleeve comes down and it tapers to a point where the wrist peg just peeks its head out like a turtle. So you could, just enough that you could put the hand right there. Oops, that's not good. So you put the hand on, and the sleeve, because it tapers, it tucks in to the groove of the hand. You see what I'm saying? So now what happens is when you're posing this guy and he's standing around, you don't see any part of his wrist. It stays with his arm motion, as opposed to Christopher Reeve over here. You don't get that. So you see too much of his wrist. In fact, it almost looks like he's wearing like, I don't know, like a long sleeve t-shirt, which is actually kind of what he's wearing, if we're being honest. But it rides up. You see how like it just stays right under his hand? It stays with his hand. But here, it's just, it'll ride up on you. And I hate that. I wish they made this costume the same way they made that. Just a little thing, just little details that I noticed. Yeah, not that I don't like my Christopher Reeve Superman. I love my Christopher Reeve Superman. I'm just saying. For a third-party company that made a quote-unquote knockoff figure that's not licensed and costs only about $90, give or take. Yeah, very, 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 very happy with them. And so yeah, have confidence, guys. If you're out there and you're looking for a Kingdom Come Superman, if you're an Alex Ross fan, Superman fan, like I said, Kingdom Come fan, or you just like good action figures, and you want a good Superman that's well made, well built, well articulated, quality. Well, he doesn't come with too much of accessories, but he's got some quality soft goods. BMS, Kingdom Come Superman. This is the guy to get. Have confidence. Go and get him. I'll put the link in the description below of where I picked him up. All right. Peace out, guys.